Hi everyone. Just going to talk a little bit about my background with Tai Chi. So when I first started Tai Chi, the reason why was because of injuries that I had to my neck from playing rugby league and other sports. That time I was 18 years of age. I had done Taekwondo and a few other different things in terms of martial arts. I'd also boxed. And my friend Alex Temokov from Wollongong was the Australian junior welterweight boxing champ, and we trained together at that time. Anyway, as one afternoon after doing a class in the gym, I was walking home to get a bus, and I saw these people doing a very slow motion movement, which was I'd never seen before. I stopped at the door, had a look in, and the teacher called Steve was looking, doing the class, and saw me standing there, and he said, "Oh, why don't you come in and join us? I actually need a partner." I was quite surprised, and I said, "What is this, by the way?" He said, "Oh, it's called Tai Chi." So I had heard of it somewhere, I'd read about it, and sort of vaguely familiar with some of the ideas. So I thought, okay, I'll give it a go. I was a little bit surprised by the slowness and the gentleness of the movements. It was very different to anything I'd ever done. And I was really hoping that nobody I knew was walking past. So I did the class, and afterwards I felt really relaxed. It was quite different to anything I'd experienced before. So I thought, hey, okay, this is pretty good. I'll join the class, and I'll come every Saturday after my gym session as a kind of warm down. And that was the beginning. That's how it started. And my neck got a little bit better. I still suffered quite a lot with pain even at that point. But it was sort of an option, and I didn't really want to get operations, and I'd seen doctors and chiropractors, but still there was this constant pain there. Anyway, that was the beginning of my Tai Chi experience. From there, I practiced myself and was looking for other sources of information. Eventually, I sort of started teaching, working with other people, and got some experience under my belt. I was asked to teach a class in Canberra, which is where I'm still residing now. That was about 43 years ago, so it's quite a while ago. And that's when I started teaching pretty much full time. So there's quite a lot of people who are interested in learning Tai Chi, and my own practice was getting better, and I'd met other teachers along the way. And eventually I met my main teacher called Fei Wong. Fei was from Shanghai, and his lineage or his background was with some very high level teachers, and his own practice was amazing. I'd never seen anything like it, like his methods of practice. And he was a really incredible person, still is, and a great influence on me. And learning from him was amazing. My neck was the first thing I asked him about. I said, "Fei, is there anything you can do?" He was a Chinese traditional doctor, so I thought he's going to give me needles and manipulations and things like that. And he had a look at it. He said, "No, Brett, if you do the practice correctly, you'll be okay. You'll fix it yourself." So I was a little bit disappointed. I thought, I've got to deal with pain, still dealing with pain. But following his instructions, and it took a while, it didn't happen straight away, but over a period of 12 to 18 months, the pain, it became freer and better and easier to move, and the pain left me. And since that time, it's gotten stronger. Every year, it's gotten stronger and better. And now I'm 65 years of age, just turned 65. My neck is great. It's amazing the changes in my body. My neck, my spine, my whole body actually has changed through the practice. So that's kind of why I advocate for Tai Chi and tell people about its benefits, because it's benefited me so much. That was my motivation. And along that journey, of course, I've discovered so many other things, especially Tai Chi and Xing Yi, which is another part of our what we teach. We call it Wu Dao Gong, which is a name, Chinese word for, you know, for the method that we use. But it's something that Fei has coined through his own understanding of the practices. The Wu being meaning inspiration. It's probably the sort of the word they use, inspiration and understanding, with the Tao, which means the way or the method, and then the Gong, which is the work or the effort you put into achieving something. So when you're practicing, and this applies to Tai Chi as well as other things, you get inspiration through your practice, you get understanding through your practice, and this really helps to motivate you. So there's information about like coming into the room, entering the door, coming through the door. So the door is kind of our barriers, our weaknesses, things that we find challenging. So we've got to, you know, first of all, you know, follow the path, follow the teachings, and then slowly we start to realize the teachings or understand them. We confirm them in for our physical body, and then the other aspects of the training, which are to do with the energy and the mind and the spirit, we start to actually experience that and actualize that in our everyday life and our practice. So this is how it works. So once you get to that level, we say you start to come into the door, into the room. So when you're in the room, before you get to the room, you're standing out there looking in, wondering what's actually going on. You're an outsider. You're pretty much an outsider. Once you get in there through your practice, once you've overcome those barriers and things that affect you, then you start to feel what it's all about. And once you do that, it's very hard to turn back. Fei always says it's like a positive addiction. You know, he's giving us drugs, which is the training, the training method. So if you get to a good level, it is addictive in a sense that, you know, you feel good. So it's like anything that makes you feel this good or benefits you, you want to keep doing, whether it's having a cup of coffee or whatever it is. Of course, certain things have, you know, negative side effects, whereas this, I've never seen anything negative about it. It's very positive, it's very balanced, it's something, you know, you learn and you understand all the time, so you're kind of regulating the your practice according to your experience. So you know when enough is enough, you've done too much or not enough. So you get to know your body, you get to understand your body better, which prevents you from overdoing things, you know, or hurting yourself. So in all these years, I don't have any injuries, touch wood, but I understand what my body can do, and I've overcome many weaknesses that I've had over the years, in different illnesses and different things. So I'm really grateful, extremely grateful for these practices and this knowledge, and so lucky to have a good teacher. Fei, of course, was and still is my main teacher. However, I've met many others, like Fu Shenyuan, Fu Zongwen. They're from Yang style Tai Chi, very famous family. Then there's the Chen style, the Hunyuan style with Feng Sichan and Chen Shang, which is his disciple. And there have been people from Wudang, quite a lot of people over the years that I've met and learned from and studied with, and benefited greatly from their knowledge and their experience. And you know, it's more instructive, you know, learning from those people because of what I have learned from Fei in terms of the foundation. So foundation training is important. It doesn't matter what style you do. If you don't train things like the leg strength, if you don't learn about relaxation, and if you can't sort of open your body and relax your body, if you don't know about the Qigong practices, the way of cultivating your energy or building up energy, then you will find that, you know, those things will be lacking and your practice will be stifled. You won't be able to go further or deeper. A lot of training, when we talk about going deeper, just means you've got to keep doing it. It's repetitious in a sense, but you need to keep doing it and trying to figure it out. So make sure that you're doing it as correctly as possible. But I must say that correctly at first can be way off track, because just it is what it is in terms of your physical body, your mind. Often you tell yourself stories, or you think you're doing the right thing and you're not. You might be training hard, but it might not be very accurate or very nuanced. So then you miss a lot of the details. So your progress, if that was a road, you're sort of way over here somewhere sometimes, or way over there sometimes, until you sort of get to know what you really need to do and what your body responds to. Slowly it becomes a narrower track, a more clear track. And that's, over time that happens. So that's important, that you get good instruction, you practice until you overcome a lot of your obstacles. Now, you might be lazy. I think I was pretty lazy for a long time. You might be deluded in terms of thinking, yeah, I know all this stuff, which I also did. And you may also, have other issues around your practice, your own understanding of the practice. So it takes a while to get clear and have clarity in practice. Age is a problem, of course. If you're young, your body changes quickly. However, you may also have other influences going on in your life when you're young, which detract from maintaining a clear path. So once you build up your foundation, of course, then you can practice better. You can learn other things and understand them very quickly. So Tai Chi is a wonderful way to start this journey. It's got so many benefits. And if it's taught well, of course, everyone's going to gravitate to what they need. So, I don't judge that. People come to me from all different styles and different things, and everyone's got their story and their preferences. Some like you as a teacher, some don't. But generally speaking, if the teacher's got the knowledge or the skills, that's the main thing you want to follow at first. Personality clashes, well, they may happen in some cases, but generally, if it's all about the knowledge and the method, that's what you want. That's what you want to follow until you can grasp that, and then maybe, if you need to, you might find somebody else that's more to your liking in terms of personality. But that's not really the thing in the beginning. It's mainly to get the knowledge, the skills, as long as the teacher's a reasonable person. And if you were learning, if the teacher's, done the work, they should have some very positive qualities, at least things that they can reflect in terms of their own personality. So if they're, I won't go into that, but there are different things. But this is the way first. Find someone who does know what they're doing and that you're happy to learn with, and then stick to it and try and grasp those things yourself. So your body will change. There are many levels of practice and changes within the body. So it goes from the muscular, because most people are very tense and use their muscles, into the joints, connective tissue, into the organs, through the nervous system, and then into the bones. So it goes quite deep, depending on the style and depending on the way you practice. So what I'm talking about generally is, if you really practice well, you would probably have some martial interest as well, which would help go deeper and deeper and take your journey further. If it's purely for health, that's really important, and that's why I started. You need to get that part right and practice regularly, and that will slowly kind of make your body better and stronger, which will help you if you want to go further and see more of the other side of the art. Then you've kind of got a foundation for that. You're stronger and you're more. Your body listens to what you're doing. So they're important things. Your training should help you calm down. It should help you focus more. It should address many weaknesses in the body, and that's why we sort of practice. Once your body's changing, you'll feel it. You'll know it. Well, this stuff works. This actually works. And what I like about Tai Chi and these kinds of practices are that encompass many things. So they're not just physical, they're not just mind, they're not just spirit. They combine the whole gamut of those things. And it's within every movement basically should embody those different qualities when you understand it. So it's good we're training mind, body, and spirit. Spirit, just so we are clear about that, it's not necessarily something out of body. It's more like the combination of all of the things that help to make you feel alive, to make you feel present. It's just like when you really feel at your very best, you notice that. You can feel, yeah, I'm alive, I'm with it, I can do stuff. I'm enthusiastic, I have clarity. This is what we mean. So when you look at people who have good spirit or strong spirit, you can tell they're like, they have a clarity, a purity almost about them in the way they do things. So that's what we ultimately start to move toward. So it just means you're functioning at a very good level, at a very high level. So the benefits, there are so many. When you start studying and you learn even some of the basic ideas of the philosophy, like yin and yang. Yin and yang are very important to the training. In the beginning, we use them in the physical realm to help open our body and change our body. So you'll find all of the exercises, whether it's circling arms or moving different ways, are designed to release tension in the body. So you start to understand this way of looking at things. So when you're tense, it seems like often students say that I feel like I'm a block of wood. Well, the body hasn't loosened up yet. So when the body's loosened up, then the yin and yang become a lot more, clear. So when you're moving, for example, if I'm doing something like a very simple movement like this, you can see how my body is spiraling. So the spiral is not just, my arms, it's my legs, my waist, every part, each joint should have that quality. The leg, when you step, you can feel that the joints also move and open, and it's all part of the training. So yin and yang eventually makes your body alive. It means that they're moving, that they're capable of change and response. So conversely, if you're stiff and rigid, everything's stuck. It doesn't change. So yin and yang can also be reflected mentally, emotionally. Mentally, in terms of your way you look at things, you're not sort of always like, you look at things more openly and from both sides, listen a little bit more, sense things a little bit deeper. Also, you can reflect on your own weakness rather than just, considering yourself, oh, I'm right, I'm perfect. You look at things from different perspectives, which is really helpful. And in terms of our dealing with people, if we're not flexible, if we don't understand the principle, we often end up clashing. And that's usually what you see in life is, I'm right, and then bang, bang. So when two hammers hit, there's sparks fly. So both hammers get damaged in that interaction. So we all know that when you have a serious argument with somebody, a disagreement, it can leave both parties feeling quite drained, upset, and all the rest of it. However, if you were you understood the principle, you may just get to the point where, okay, this is not working, I need to soften up. So the softening process, and the hammer hits the curtain, something softer, it can absorb it. So this is like, physically, we can use it in a martial context as well to absorb a strong opponent's force. But mentally, emotionally, what that means is being more present, quiet, listening, giving people respect, showing respect, because they have their view, they have their way, and you have to respect it. When people hear you're listening well, you're present to them, you're not trying to judge them, you're not jumping on top of them every time they say something. It gives them space and they feel comfortable. You may not agree with each other, but you have allowed them to express themselves, and then you can also say your piece in a way too, which may also be quite different to what you were going to, how you were going to respond initially, because you listened. You may think, oh, okay, the context is different here. I didn't realize this person had this and this and this. So, the compassion is needed, understanding is needed. And this is the way. This is how we integrate the training into our lives. So this is all part of understanding yin and yang, and there's the 5 elements, which goes deeper. So, there's plenty of ways to study these things, and there's other arts that we teach. My wife Fontaine also has a system of Qigong and healing, which is really powerful, from the Ome school. And they have a lot of information and practices that kind of deal with all of these things through the 5 elements and yin yang, and it's quite deep, quite profound, and very useful for enhancing our lives. So I just want to say, if you're thinking of learning Tai Chi or any of the things that we teach, or these sorts of arts, you should look into it. And there are classes, especially in Canberra. There's online classes as well. So it's a good thing. It's a very good thing for your life. Give you balance, give you health, give you happiness. Thanks for your attention, everyone.